Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I'm here to talk about the new Space Jam movie, Space Jam: A New Legacy, starring LeBron James as himself. As the lead character, LeBron James. It's directed by Malcolm Lee, um, who is the cousin of Spike Lee, who has directed several other movies, including Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, and Girls Trip. And of course, it's based on the original characters from the original Space Jam in 1996, which was starring Michael Jordan, and characters that are Warner Brothers pop properties, Looney Tunes, for example. The story was originally written in 1996 by Van Benvenuti, Leo Benvenuti, and the new one is similarly written by him as well as Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Basically, what this is about, this is not a direct sequel. This is not a direct sequel to the 1996 version. So technically, it is not Space Jam 2. I've seen a lot of people say that it is Space Jam 2. It is not Space Jam 2. It is a completely different version. Except for one scene, they really don't acknowledge at all that Space Jam 1 even happened. There's a different villain, there is a different central premise. Basically, what the central premise of this one is, LeBron James's son, Dom, played by Cedric Joe, is um, displays no interest in basketball. LeBron James wants his son to be a basketball player like him, but the son is more interested in computer software. So basically, when LeBron James goes to the Warner Brothers studio to discuss a movie role, um, Algorithm, Algae Rhythm played the main villain of the story, played by Don Cheadle, a play, of course, on Algorithm, sucks him into the Toon World, in which LeBron James then meets Bugs Bunny. And Bugs Bunny and him, the, they go around to different worlds, what they call the serververse. And in these worlds, they encounter characters from Harry Potter, characters from Game of Thrones, and characters from the DC Comics. All the properties that are owned by Warner Brothers and that you can see on HBO Max, they go through them. There are references to them all. And they have to defeat, in a basketball game, a team assembled by Don Cheadle's character. And they have to assemble their own team. And of course, just like the original, uh, the bad guys have all the basketball players, all the famous basketball players, like Anthony Davis, for example, is in this. Clay Thompson is, of course, um, Clay Thompson is in this as well. A lot of famous basketball players, but no reference to the original, really, all that much. There's one slight reference to them, the original Alien Squad in the background, and there's another reference where Michael B. Jordan appears. There's a scene where Sylvester, the cat Sylvester from Looney Tunes, um, has to go back in time and wants to get Michael Jordan to play on the team. But instead of Michael Jordan, the basketball player, he gets Michael B. Jordan, the star of Creed and Fruitville Station and Black Panther. So this is a joke about how Michael B. Jordan and Michael Jordan, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, have the exact same name, just just different initials. But anyway, by the end of the movie, LeBron James then realizes that it's okay that his son, uh, they win. Big spoiler alert. And LeBron James then realizes that it's okay for his son to be a computer programmer instead of a basketball player. Um, okay, what did I? That's just the gist of it. I'm not gonna give blow by blow, every single scene because because I want you guys to watch the movie. But what did I think of it? Uh, I thought it was all right. To me, it really lacked the sense of humor that the original had. The original was a funny movie, of course. Bill Murray makes a cameo in this as well, and Bill Murray made a cameo in the original. But what was funny about the Bill Murray scene in the original was during that time, Bill Murray was going around saying that he was going to retire from acting and he was going to become a basketball player. There was a lot of commercials on it back then, like in 1995, 1996. And what made the original so good was that it was the first time ever that Warner Brothers had featured action animation live action acting with animation. Disney had done this before with Mary Poppins, with Song of the South, but Warner Brothers had never done this. And what always made Warner Brothers different than their main rivals Disney was that they were a lot more humorous. They were Looney Tunes, different than Disney guys. You never really saw Disney guys, laugh it up. And the original coincided with Michael Jordan's return to basketball in 1996 when he had his best season ever. And this one, although a pretty good movie, I feel like it didn't really stack up to the original. Michael Jordan never wanted to do a second one, possibly because in the original, the worst actor in the whole movie was Michael Jordan. And LeBron James really doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't stack up either. He doesn't make for a good actor. His interactions with Bugs Bunny are not all that funny. And the blatant pandering to the audience of these product placements of other HBO Max Warner Brothers characters like DC Comics or Game of Thrones and stuff is kind of like a just selling point for HBO Max. Like HBO Max is saying to you, well, here's everything we got on our channel. We got Game of Thrones on our channel. We got we got DC Comics on our channel, and we got the Looney Tunes Adventures on our channel. Here's everything we got. Here's everything that belongs to our company. Besides the Sesame Street characters, they don't have them in there, but they might as well have them on there. You know what I mean? Because they're throwing everything at you. They're throwing everything at the wall at you. All these other characters, Harry Potter, everything they got. All these other references. And it's like, are you just trying to sell me a channel and making a movie that really did not need to be made? Nobody asked for another Space Jam. Space Jam was revolutionary at the time. It brought Warner Brothers back to the forefront. The Warner Brothers characters, the Looney Tunes, it brought them back to the forefront, and it brought Michael Jordan back to the forefront in basketball. But with this one, I feel like this one is just a way to make money. You know what I mean? Like, and a way for Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's cousin, to be involved with the film because the original Spike Lee wanted to direct the movie. In 1996, he wanted to direct that one, but Warner Brothers was not pleased um, with his the way he got the funding for Malcolm X, the Malcolm X movie. So they took him off that movie, and he would have been perfect for that. So in this new one, he gets um, his cousin Malcolm gets a chance to direct this one, and Ryan Coogler wrote the script. But I feel like Ryan Ryan Coogler, of course, is one of the most brilliant new directors out there. He gets props for Creed. He gets props for Black Panther and the work that he and Michael B. Jordan do together. And Michael B. Jordan was involved with writing this script as well. But the joke that Michael B. Jordan is this has the same name as the original main character that was the face of the original film. That's just like, okay, yeah, that's funny, I guess. But I don't know. To me, this one is kind of like, well, Coming to America, where, okay, it has some kind of good jokes and some things that are funny, but why did we need this years and years after the original? You know what I mean? Like, they were trying to make this Joe Pitka, who became the director after Spike Lee was taken off the project in '96. He became the original. He became the director for the original, and he tried to for years and years make a second one with Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan turned it down. So they had Tony Hawk, they had other famous athletes, and they were going to make the centerpiece of the new one, and it never came to fruition. But finally, LeBron agreed to do it, and then LeBron backed out a second time, and then they said they weren't going to make it, and then finally, when HBO Max came out last year, this is what they came up with. This was their way to present to you a commercial, what I feel like is a commercial for their channel, what they have. You know what I mean? It would have been like if Disney Plus made a movie um, with Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, and the Star Wars characters, and then the Marvel character, all the Marvel characters, all the Star Warses, and all the Pixar, every single Pixar, every single Star Wars, every single Marvel, in a movie about sports with all the original Disney cartoon characters. That's what this would have been. That's what this basically was. Or Peacock, you know, coming out with a movie with cameos from The Office and from WWE superstars. That's what this was. This was like the Looney Tunes characters, all the Game of Thrones references, DC Comics, all that stuff thrown in just to advertise HBO Max. Just like, okay, buy this HBO Max. We'll show you everything we have in one movie. Starring LeBron James and the characters from Looney Tunes. About a franchise that we released, um, 25 years ago. And haha, a joke about the original character, the original star having a name like the star that we have now, who is the most popular, um, one of the most popular movie stars in the world. So, what are the positives of the movie? The positive, I think, the most positive performance um, was LeBron James's son, Cedric Joe. He comes out of this looking lovely. Jeff Bergman, who plays the part of Bugs Bunny, comes out here looking um, lovely. There's the scene where Granny does the triple splits when she's dunking. The actual basketball scenes are pretty dope, and all the famous basketball players, just like the original, having them in there and having a lot of WNBA stars, WNBA ladies in there is pretty dope as well. Um, and of course Zendaya, who's from Nickelodeon fame, she's in here. You know what I mean? She's another famous cameo in here, and that's pretty much it. Oh, one big difference with the original Lola Bunny in a lot of lookbacks from the original. Um, sh- Later on, as us millennials got older and we started to really watch the movie with a critical eye, with an analytical eye, given social, our different social climates with regards to Me Too and regards to feminism and stuff, people started to, especially Nostalgia Critic. He was the one of the ones publicly, one of the first ones, because he reviews a lot of child-oriented material from the '90s on his YouTube channel. He was one of the first ones to point out that the original Lola Bunny, which the Space Jam movie introduced her to the world, the female counterpart of Bugs, was an overly sexualized character with large breasts and stuff. And in this one, uh, she doesn't have that. She is desexualized. She's drawn differently. She's looked at with more respect. And like I said, in this one with the WNBA stars, they're really giving the props to a lot of the young WNBA stars. For example, there's one young lady in there. She's White Mamba. Um, uh, Diana Taurasi, she's the one I'm talking about. Diana Taurasi, she's White Mamba in there. So this one is kind of giving more props to women and more than just one female basketball player on there. You have several female basketball players, several famous ones. As you guys know, I'm not a sports. I'm not so sports oriented, so I really wouldn't have a lot of familiarity with who these guys and gals really are in terms of the sports world. I know Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson, and of course, um, the ones I looked up, the like Diana Taurasi and stuff. So that's a major difference. But overall, I like the original better. I'm partial to the original. I feel like Space Jam: A New Legacy is a nice try, at trying to create something new for LeBron James and trying to create, as it were, a legacy for LeBron in the way that Michael Jordan had. But Space Jam, the original, could have been Space Jam without Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So the original concept came from a commercial that Michael Jordan had done with Bugs Bunny, and they said, "Well, why don't you make a movie about that?" As far as the music, man, the music cannot compare to the original Space Jam. Um, the original Space Jam with songs like "I Believe I Could Fly," "For You I Will," by R. Kelly, the original version of "I Believe I Could Fly" by R. Kelly, which we did at my sixth grade graduation. I'll never forget it. "For You I Will" by Monica, and just Basketball Jones, which was Chris Rock was a part of that. The soundtrack was one of the best soundtracks in the movie soundtracks in the '90s and of all time. You know what I mean? So the new soundtrack is not as good. You know what I mean? The strong suit of this, I feel like, is the basketball parts. Without the basketball parts, you really don't have much. You have a lot of 3D animation with it, you know, and above product placement out the ass with Warner Brothers, but you don't really have much of a story. Like you have scraps of a story and just product placement, like a whole commercial for HBO Max. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. Don't on Space Jam: A New Legacy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Overall, I give it a C minus, because I just felt like throwing all those other references. While it might seem a little cool, I feel like it was overdone. Like you don't need like the Night King from Game of Thrones in the game. You don't need Harry Potter characters in a Space Jam movie. Like you know that's ODing. You know what I mean? Like you're going too far. Warner Brothers tried something different, and I feel like it failed. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell button to see when my next video is coming out. Love y'all.